Welcome to Trading Lounge in the US stocks for Friday, August the 27th, and starting with Amazon on the daily chart. Here we are looking at a 5-move down through here, so it would be logical to see an A and a B and a C wave back up into the 50-60% retracement level. We also should be a little bit mindful of the 34 Fibonacci number, 13, 21, 34, 55. So we can also see that it carries a fair bit of weight here. So I'm wondering if we just have a much smaller correction rather than going all the way up here. So if you are long here, the 34 is the target at that point, and we would be looking at an A wave, B wave and C wave up into that point, and then possibly coming down. So we'll be mindful of that. Okay, let's go in and have a look at this on the 100 ticks. So yeah, let me check on this. Looks like that's the highs. I just want to talk about this for a second. First of all, we've got 3,300. So the 300 makes it a minor level. So 100, 200, 300, and then 500. They're all minor levels. And then between the minor levels are sub-levels. So we can count one. Well, we can count 1 to 10, 20, 30 is group 1, 50 is a midpoint, and then group 2. Group 2, 65, 72, and 80. And then we can also put in group 1 here, which that looks like the top of group 1. So it would be 10, 20, just get it roughly there, that's okay, and 10, too early in the morning, and then 50 here. And so when the market's having a a dance at the minor level here, we use group 1 here and group 2 here as the swing range. So the market, it's good to know that, because when you're setting your stops and all those sorts of things, then you can understand that you need to give the market a bit of room, but how much room? And this is always a nice way to start the process, I believe. Also too, if we get support on top of group 1 here, which would be subgroup 1, because that's 300 is the top of minor group 1, and then 10, 20, 30 is the top of subgroup 1. So if you get a support on top of subgroup 1 here, then you'll know you go to the 50. And in doing that, then you know that you're leaving the 300, and then you can start looking further up. So I'm not quite sure if I've got this little count here right. I'm just wondering if I've also need to put that here, and we're going to have some sort of ABC correction in this space before moving up, and I will put that at 34. And as I mentioned, it's possible for it to end at that particular point. So I'll just leave it at this. So the thing is that if the 30 here becomes the support, then we know that we're heading up at that point, and then we could possibly put wave B here, or even wave 2 at that point. But I'll just leave it here for the time being. There is a little gap here, not that it's that important, because we've also gapped here and that's not covered. So let's just leave that as it is, and let's see if Friday is going to be the bullish day. And of course, as I've been mentioning, and it's all over the news, I guess, not that I watch much of that, but the Jackson Hole situation. So yeah, I mean, that will be a focal point for a lot of folks at that point. So I'll just put wave B there. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but if markets are going to, we've got that short-term top that we're looking for the Nasdaq, and that would coincide with that quite nicely. So yeah, we just need to be aware of that. Okay, so let's check the next stock, which is Google, Alphabet, and this is just 100 ticks, which you can see up there. And quite nicely, we're plotting along as wave 4 here, and then from 4, we're looking for 5 waves here for wave 5 of 5 of 5. So yeah, we could look at this. It looks like it's sort of, well, I call that creeping. It's probably not a really nice word, but you know, when it starts getting overlapping wave structures with each other, and you know, you can kind of just see that it's towards the top there. So we can look, probably do a better job than me on getting that there. So it does look like we're going to be a little bit softer coming into this space here. So that's 38.2 and then up from that point there. So that would be the pathway for that. I may be wrong, and there may be another little push up there, but always nice to, you know both sides of the situation. So that's Alphabet, and cruise into Apple's giving me a little bit of a problem in all of this. So I'm not quite sure what's occurring in this space here. I had another little look at this trend and could label it this way. You could probably even put a top in on wave 5 here, but it'll be sort of forcing some of the other count further down. So I'm a little, you know, we don't have a trade in here because we just don't have a setup here. You know, I'd have to be, you know, I'd have to have a nice classic trading levels pattern here for that. And that would mean that we would have this wave 5 up here. We would have a nice ABC pattern at this point. And then we'd start working this side over here for that. But this is where it can also just, you know, come back down into wave 4 here as well. So yeah, I'm just not quite sure what's happening here on the intraday. There's weakness in here. We'll go in and have a look. So I don't have an answer for this. We can see that the 48 here, which is like when we've got 150 here, that's the medium level, and 8 is the first minor level down from that point. So seeing that being bearish, you know, it's been, you know, the ball comes down and bounces and then starts to lock under there, and that's what it's doing at the moment. And also it looks a bit impulsive down through this way as well. Let's just bring in some more data here, and I'll bring in a bit more. Don't need all of that, because I was looking at this, you know, I was counting this up here. This looked a bit corrective, so that was okay. And looking at this as, we looked at this as 1 and 2, and then I was counting this up here. But, yeah, it's just not, it's not playing fair. So it looks like it's don't particularly like that low that I used there as well, but we'll use that as the support there. So that comes in at 146.80. But that's kind of interesting as well, because we've got the numbers coming up here. We can put those in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 5, and then 8. And when we use 8, we use group 2. So we go, I just call it a 65 number, but it's actually, in this case, it will be 146.50, and then 147.20 would do the job there. So we'll just, and that all becomes group 2. So that would be the support there. Now this is important, because if group 2 becomes the it's okay to spike down, but to come back and test it and fail and then take that low out, that means that it's rejecting this number. And, you know, this is the swing range here once again. So we've got 1, 2, 3 above, and then we've got group 2 below in this instance. So we don't want it's okay for it to spike down into that, but we don't want it to find the retested resistance, you know, in that space. So that would be the retested resistance. They're taking that low out here at that 46.50. That would put it in a bearish point at that point in time, and then we'd probably need to look at this as a top being in play. This is just not counting up as 5 waves here. That's my problem. And now that we've overlapped this structure here, it's telling me that this can only be corrective, and this is looking impulsive as 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. So it looks like this 5th wave here can also come down further in, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to finish here. So we could end up with something a little bit more complicated. I just can't get my head around it at this point. sometimes sometimes the patterns jump out at me, and and then if they jump out at me, I just run with them, because I'm just, it's kind of like your intuition talking to you, but when there's blocks there, I sort of have to go back and do the hard work, so it could be something like this. Something, I don't know, and I've got here as an A and a B and a C wave for wave 4, that's possible, but it could be something a bit more complex as well. But tying it into the top of the NASDAQ, we just may need to put this over here as the 5th wave here, as the top being in play. I'm not quite sure about that just yet, so we'll need to do more work on that. But we don't have a position in here, so that's that. Also square, we're looking at wave 3 here with an A, B, C here. For wave 4, I'm going up for wave 5, so there's a good chance that top is in play. I mean, it's a company that's doing some amazing things, so it can, just continue to the upside, and I could probably count this different, but there's 5 waves, and if that is correct, then we come down to wave 4 here. I have been, working this structure in here on an intraday basis from the top there. We'll just go in and have a bit of a look. So certainly it's not giving me a bearish count or a bullish count at this particular stage for this. So I was looking at it at a bearish, because it also dropped here, I was counting it up here. We'll just go back over this. I was counting it off the low here as 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And coming down for wave 4 here, it just moved really through that where the wave 4 should be. I mean, I could put wave 4 here and as an A and a B and a C and look at this as 1 and 2 and building up there, but it's getting rather close to that, and it's pulled back. This is the 61.8%, not a 60%, not a 40%, 38.2. We don't have 5 waves here yet. We just have 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but if it comes down further, a bit further, and overlaps wave 1 here, then that will confirm that I'll need to look at this not as wave 1, but wave A and wave B here and wave C up here. And if I look at it as wave C, then I need to come back over this side here, because I was looking it down. I was hopeful to be bullish because, the market was sort of moving up, but as an A and a B and a C wave here. But now, if this drops down here further, then I'll need to start looking at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then from 2 down to 1 here and back for 2 here, and A, B, C back for 2, and then start moving this down into a 3rd wave, into the 3rd of the 3rd. So it could be a nice short trade actually. So, but I don't have the setup just yet for that. So that would be wave 3 coming down there. And then what we would need to see here for the short trade would be this move down through here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down for 1 and back for 2, and then that's where we'll catch it at 3. So if we get 5 waves here, then we can look to short the corrective move here. Now, it will probably be a little bit thin on the ground and a bit difficult to understand, because it will be the third of the third of the third. So it would sort of move quite swiftly at that point. So us getting a position, above the level and below the level like we did on the way up, but in reverse, that's what we could look for. Okay, but we need to confirm that, and in confirming it, I'd need to just go back over and check all this, but I'd need to see this come down through here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC coming back up, and then we can set up our short trades and just get a small position here and then a small position under this point here, and looking back at the bigger picture at that point, just so we've got our bearings, if that is indeed the case. Because we've had this question mark here for a while. So that would give us, a position here and a position there. And we could look for it to come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree down close to the 200. So that's quite good. Alrighty, I'll move on from square. And Facebook. So we've been looking at this as wave 4 here, and 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're still on track with this. It is possible, if you've got a count, have wave 4 over here, as I mentioned before. But we still need to make a new high above this one here. Otherwise, if that moves, moves down from that point, then we would also need to look at this top here being in play as the top. Let's just go into, where are we, tick chart. So as it stands, we've got wave 4 there, and we've got wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C for wave 2, but it is possible to have wave 4 over there, here. And then we've been counting up. So in counting up, we've got 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3, and I've got this as 4 and 5 here for the third wave. Where's my little 5 there? That should go in there, like I said. And then wave 4, and then wave 5 for wave 3. And looking back here for wave 4, which is right on the 38.2% retracement level. So we do need to see it move up from that 38.2. It is a little bit haunting, because at the same time, it does appear that this can also be 5 waves here. So that would mean that you can see a little 5 waves in here. That's the third wave in the middle, so this will be a 4th and a 5th. So there's probably a little bit more to come down. So we could also get, just being mindful, we could get an ABC here with another 5 waves coming here before heading off. So if you're, we can move the stop up a little bit. Let's just have a look at a few things from here to there. That's the 61.8%. So we could move it just up under that. That's as bad as far as, if you wanted to go for the, if you're long in there. Let's just move that. So, yes, maybe even this wave 4, I hate to say it, way over here for this. So an A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C wave over here, and then down for this point, and then up from that point. So we'll just see. Thursday is our bearish day in our bullish weekly cycle. We just need to see if Friday is going to be the bullish day. And Tesla also retesting the 700 there, but as you may know, we're looking for 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and going up for wave 5. So on the tick chart, also there seems to be 5 waves coming down from that top there as well, in that, unless we got some sort of, ABC pattern from this point. But if that's the case, then we just need to be a bit mindful about this as well. There may be one more little move down here. I'm not quite sure. You have to count 5 waves in there. But because it appears there's 5 waves here, there's either part. This is a little bit tricky to count in here because there's a lot of overlap in that point. But if we take it at face value and look at this as the top, then we do have 5 waves down there. That means that this would, come back up in 3 waves to the 50-60% retracement level, and then have another 5 down. So that's not really a good look at this point for that, but that just leaves really 3 waves up at this point, unless we sort of start pushing the wave structure around, which we could do, but I don't even want to do that as a top, because I could put wave 3 there and that there and that there and be done with it at that point. But we still haven't really made a new high above wave 3 at that point. You know, the other haunting little bit about this, I guess, though, is that that is the high there. And I have taken this as the A, the B, and the C wave coming back here for the wave 4, coming back to the wave 4, 1 lesser degree in 3 waves here. But that, as 5 waves there, that leaves us with 3 waves back up at this point. So, yeah, we wouldn't want to let this get out of control too much, but we'll just keep an eye on it. I mean, I've got a position in here myself, but as I mentioned, it's just pocket money, so it's not a biggie. So yeah, I mean, I would like to short tell. I mean, I don't really care what side of the market I'm on. You know, it doesn't really sort of concern me. But I know that Tesla's a bit of a cult sort of company, and everybody's bullish, a bit like Bitcoin, you know. But I think that's a bit of a dangerous thing in the markets. Well, anyway, we'll have our opinions. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.